from 93.7 Abuja. I'm Rayo Omotosho. The federal government has again raised alarm over the increase in the use of fake news and disinformation to destabilize the electoral process and plunge the nation into crisis. It said the worrisome trend was being perpetrated by destabilizing agents of some of them linked to the opposition parties. The government said the increasing wave of fake news and disinformation permeating especially the social media space in the run-up to the general elections portends danger. Meanwhile, Nigeria has backed the United States government's decision to impose visa bans on politicians and others who undermine the 2023 general elections. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, expressed the federal government's support for the plan. He spoke during a speech at the 20th edition of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration's scorecard series in Abuja. He asserted that the President Muhammadu Buhari-led government remains committed to ensuring free, fair, and credible elections, adding that those who undermine the nation's democracy must be sanctioned and made to pay the penalty due their crime. The European Union Election Observation Mission's chief to Nigeria, Barry Andrews, says the mission will only observe and not interfere in the February 25th and March 11th general elections. Barry made this known at a press conference held in Abuja on the purpose of the mission in Nigeria. He said the EU EOM mandate was to observe all aspects of the electoral process as invited by the Independent National Electoral Commission of Nigeria. The envoy added that the Electoral Act 2022 had introduced new measures aimed at enhancing various aspects of the conduct of the elections. Meanwhile, the head of civil service of the Federation has urged ministries, departments and agencies, including the management and staff of the Commission, to ensure continuous improvement in quality management system in the delivery of services. The head of the civil service, Dr. Folashade Yemieson, made this call after she received the official presentation of an international organization for standards certificates by the managing director for Digital Jewels Africa, Adedunyo Odunfa, Monday in Abuja. The certification came on the heels of the Commission's fulfillment of all requirements of the ISO as directed by the International Independent Certification Authority, Canada. Nigerians have been called upon to imbibe the spirit of peace and unity amongst themselves for rapid development of the country. Minister of State for Science, Technology and Innovation, Chief Henry Kechukwueko, made the call at the FCT Igbo Annual Praise Worship and Prayer Summit. The minister emphasized that Nigeria's quest for accelerated development and growth will not be achieved without peace and unity in the country. Former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu is due to go on trial in Britain today along with family members for alleged organ harvesting. Ekweremadu will face trial at the Old Bailey Court Tuesday morning. He's been accused, along with his wife, daughter and doctor, of bringing a 21-year-old man from Nigeria to have his kidney removed. Prosecutors say the defendants allegedly planned to have a kidney removed from a 21-year-old Nigerian man so that it could be given to the politician's daughter, Sonia. The man is said to have raised the alarm after refusing to consent to the procedure following preliminary tests at a North London hospital. Meanwhile, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, says economic growth in sub-Saharan Africa is projected to remain moderate at 3.8% in 2023. This is according to the IMF's latest World Economic Outlook update report for January 2023 released Tuesday. According to the report, the moderate growth is amid prolonged fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic, although with a modest upward revision since. Leaders of the Southern African Bloc of Nations, SADC, are gathering in Namibia for an extraordinary meeting that will focus on the ongoing conflicts in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. Tensions have been running high between Rwanda and the government in Kinshasa, which accuses Kigali of financing a big rebel group in Eastern DR Congo. Rwanda denies these allegations. The summit in Windhoek is also expected to issue a statement over the recent killing of pro-democracy activists in Eswatini. Sudan has released from jail the convicted killer of a U.S. diplomat, John Granville, after he paid compensation to the victim's family, according to Sudanese media. Abdel Raouf Abu Said told privately owned Sudan Tribune website that authorities released him after they received documents from the U.S. showing he had paid monetary compensation to the family. In June 2009, a Sudanese court convicted Abu Zaid and 4 other men in connection with the diplomat's killing and handed 4 of them the death penalty, including Abu Zaid. His release came after he threatened to go on a hunger strike over inhumane treatment by prison authorities. And in sports, Arsenal have agreed a £12 million deal with Chelsea to sign Italy midfielder Jorginho. The 31-year-old who joined Chelsea from Napoli in 2014 is into the final 6 months of his contract at Stamford Bridge. He'll now have a medical before signing an 18-month contract with the option of a further year. The Gunners turned their attention to Jorginho after having 2 bids rejected by Brighton for Moises Caicedo. And that's the Citizen FM News at noon, as compiled and edited by Lawrence Sumwete. You can listen to us online at www.citizenfm.ng or follow us on any of our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm Raya Omotosho. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
This is our journey. We've had our finest moments and our darkest hours. Yet we pull ourselves back from the brink every time. We are a resilient people. We are not